Is your money mindset healthy, broken, or toxic? Let's go over it in this video. Hello, beautiful soul sisters, and welcome back to Cooking with Purpose. I'm Veronica Rosa, your emotional wellness and life coach. And tonight we're digging deep into something that shows up in every woman's life, our relationship with money. So come on in, have a seat at the table. But before we get cooking with purpose, this video is gonna be a little different, as apparently my mic was off during the session, so I'm gonna have to do a voiceover and it's gonna be a little funky. But I have a very powerful message for you in getting clarity on that money mindset and how it doesn't just affect your pocketbook, but affects other areas in your life. And so let's tap in to see, where are you at? Are you broken? Are you healthy? Are you toxic? And a lot of times we hear broken and toxic and we hear negativity, but that stems from being in survival mode or habits that we were taught. So before we get cooking with purpose, I want to ask you, what energy do you carry around your finances? Is your money mindset broken, healthy, or toxic? I remember a time I believed budgeting meant lack, that frugality meant suffering, and that people with money were just lucky or born with money. I didn't grow up hearing the words abundance or financial freedom. I just started learning those words in my 30s. What I heard growing up was, we can't afford that, or money doesn't grow on trees, or that's for rich people, or you better eat every bite because we don't waste food. And while those messages may have came from love or survival, they rooted something deeper in me. It meant scarcity. And so it took a long time. It took a lot of emotional healing and a whole lot of unlearning to realize that money isn't just a number, it's an energy, it's a frequency. So let's break it down. Because the truth is that your money mindset doesn't just affect your pocketbook, it affects other areas of your life, like self love, boundaries, trust, accountability, and communication, just to name a few. Let's go over these few traits and see, how does that affect you in your everyday life. In a toxic money mindset with self love, it shows up as overspending to feel worthy. With boundaries, it uses money to control or manipulate. With trust, it doesn't trust. It distrusts everyone and anything. In accountability, it denies any financial problem. In communication, it uses money as a weapon. So what does that look like if you're not toxic? Maybe you're just normal, quote unquote normal, right? Because a lot of us are just quote unquote normal, whereas women, we feel guilty spending on ourselves, or we avoid checking the bank accounts, or we distrust our decisions, or blame others, or avoid accountability. Or in communication, we hide our money stresses. But what if we change that all around? What if our money mindset showed up in self love as seeing money as a support, having a budget, trusting in abundance, tracking what you're spending and learning from your mistakes, and talking openly about money? That would be a healthy money mindset. And so we're going to go over 5 practical tips to heal a broken or toxic money mindset. So let's go over 5 practical tips to heal a broken or toxic money mindset. Number 1, name the belief. Write down the money phrases you heard growing up. Were they rooted in fear or trust? Start to call them out. Number 2, create a safe weekly budget. Replace budget with the word spending plan. It's not about restriction, it's about empowerment. And a lot of times we feel guilty when we use the word budget. So flip that word around, make it something positive. Spending plan. Number three, shift from scarcity to strategy. When women say organic food is too expensive, I hear fear and poor planning. Try this instead. Plan meals weekly to create a smart grocery list. It's not about spending more, it's about spending wisely. Number four, speak wealth over your life. Say things like, money flows to me for good. I always have more than enough, and I handle my finances wisely. Number five, invest in nourishment, not numbness. Ask yourself, are my purchases aligned with healing or hiding? Are you purchasing organic foods, coaching, retreats? These are investments in your wealth. Impulse buys like fast foods, they usually mask emotional needs. So invest in nourishment, not numbness. And while you're asking yourself these questions, journal out. What did I learn about money growing up? Where do I feel fear, guilt, or shame when it comes to spending? And what would it look like to feel, or what would it feel like to have a peaceful relationship with money? Let's anchor in this positive emotions with your money mindset with some positive affirmations. Repeat after me. I honor my needs and make powerful money choices. I am open to receiving and attracting abundance. I am safe, supported, and guided in my financial journey. I create wealth in alignment with my values. I no longer carry financial guilt that was never mine to begin with. Now that we've shifted our mindset from a lack to love, from fear to flow, it's time to bring that same intentions into our bodies. So tonight, we're cooking a nutrient rich meal that honors our health and our wallets. Because planning ahead, choosing whole foods, and cooking at home is one of the most rich people habits you can do. Welcome to Cooking with Purpose. Fill your body and feed your soul. Let's get cooking with purpose to lower A1C, shed unwanted weight, maximize mental sharpness and clarity, boost self expression, boost immune system, build confidence, maintain emotional balance, relieve pain, relieve headaches, cleanse your digestion, and much more. Welcome to Cooking with Purpose, where we fill our bodies and feed our souls. If you are feeling tired, overwhelmed, stressed, or struggling with weight loss, anxiety, or energy crashes, it's time to take back control, starting in the kitchen. Today, we are cooking an easy and delicious, nutrient packed dinner to help boost your metabolism, balance hormones, and fuel your body for success. Whether you are a busy mom, battling cravings, or just looking to feel amazing again, this is for you. Drop a firebomb in the comments if you are ready to cook with me. Let's get cooking, good looking. So, what's for dinner? Let's get cooking, good looking. So, what's for dinner? Before we start, I just wanted to let you know that cooking with purpose isn't just about food, it's about freedom. And for me, that freedom started when I detoxed from sugar, alcohol, and everything that was dimming my light. Back in high school, I was drinking alcohol during school to get through my anxiety and caffeine pills to keep me going. And actually, that led to more anxiety and depression and a cycle of prescription medications and addictions. Years later, I found myself as a single mom, overwhelmed, and watching my son spiral from ADHD and suicidal thoughts. He was only 7. Girl, it broke my heart to hear him say, I don't deserve to live. 7 years old. It broke my heart. And then around the same time, I hit rock bottom after a DUI. But I'm going to tell you something. That breakdown became my breakthrough. I stopped waiting for the system to save me. I stopped depending and relying on others. And I started studying health. I started studying our food system and holistic healing, to say the least. Long story short, I put my son on a sugar detox, and within 3 days, I saw a different child night and day. It was as if he was on his Adderall without the Adderall side effects. He was happier, clearer, and more alive. And that's what sparked my journey into wellness. Since then, we've been off of medication, there's no more guessing, just real food, real healing, and real boundaries. That brought love, health, and abundance into our lives. My son and I have been medication free for nearly a decade. My husband and I went through toxic cycles of ups and downs where we were both addicts. But now we are thriving, living in union, with in love, with respect, running two businesses, an elevator business and this wellness company that's transforming lives. And it all started here in the kitchen. Not in this kitchen, but it started in a kitchen, detoxing sugar. So tonight, as we cook together, remember, one nourishing choice at a time can rewrite your story too. Today we're gonna cook one pan baked chicken thighs with roasted asparagus, sweet potato wedges. This is a detox friendly, high protein, anti inflammatory meal, which is going to be easy and beautiful on the plate. So we're going to use organic, girls, buy organic. We have 4 boneless, skinless chicken thighs. We're going to use olive oil, minced garlic, paprika, thyme, sea salt, black pepper, and lemon juice for extra brightness if you like. For the asparagus, I have a bunch of asparagus. We'll trim the ends. Use olive oil, sea salt, black pepper. And for the roasted sweet potatoes, well, I only have one last sweet potato left. So I'll just cut that up for my husband. Use some olive oil, paprika, garlic powder, sea salt, and black pepper. So let's get this oven on to 425 and get cooking. Apparently my mic was off this whole time. And we're back, guys. Apparently my mic was off this whole time I've been talking. Oh, frustrating. Now what? Okay. I'm just gonna flip the potatoes, scrunch them together, add my asparagus, put it in the oven for another 15 minutes. Apparently my mic was off this whole time. So I'll have to redo the talk in my edited video. It happens, things happen. So we do have 15 minutes for the food to be done. And so why don't I just go ahead and go over today's lesson, since apparently my mic was off this whole time. So action. Lights, camera, action. Sorry, Miss Jackson. That's so frustrating. But we're gonna keep rolling with it, learning and growing, girlfriend. One thing, next time I'll make sure that everything's on. We have 15 minutes left. And today's lesson was on money mindset. Is your money mindset healthy, broken, or toxic? Which is okay because I did stumble over my words a lot. But so tonight we're digging in deep into something that shows up in every woman's life: our relationship with money. So as we let the food cook, I want to ask you, what energy do you carry around your finances? Is your money mindset healthy, broken, or toxic? So I remember the times back in the days I used to believe that budgeting meant lack, that to being frugal meant suffering, and that people with money were just lucky. I didn't grow up hearing the words abundance or financial freedom. I didn't hear that word until in my 30s. And so that's when the shift started though. What I heard in my as my childhood is we can't afford that. Money doesn't grow on trees. You have to be a doctor to be wealthy. That every bite you eat, you gotta eat every bite because we don't waste food. While those messages may have come from love and survival, they rooted something deeper in me. It rooted scarcity, that we don't have enough, poor. And so it took a lot of emotional healing and a whole lot of unlearning to realize that money isn't just a number, it's an energy. And so let's break it down and see how does it show up, because our money mindsets will show up in other areas in our lives, not just in our pocketbook. In self-love, toxic money mindsets will show up as overspending just to feel worthy. In boundaries, a toxic money mindset will show up as control or manipulate with money. In trust, in a toxic money mindset, it shows up as it distrusts everything and anyone. In accountability, it denies any financial problems. In communication, a toxic money mindset shows up as using money as a weapon. And so how do we shift that energy? Or maybe you're not even that, maybe you're not toxic. And just the word toxic is like, oh, I'm not toxic, The word toxic sounds like a bad word or a negative word, but it really stems from living in survival mode and habits that were passed down from our ancestors because maybe they were in survival mode, maybe they were abandoned by one of their parents as a child and they had to survive and they got into the survival mode and now they're thriving and rich, and now they just became greedy and toxic and narcissistic, and they teach that to their kids, and their kids come out, they have money but they're still real greedy, real narcissistic, right? Or normal or regular people, maybe you just feel guilty for spending on yourself. That would be considered broken. Maybe you avoid checking your bank account. That's fear. Maybe you distrust your own decisions. Maybe you get buyer's remorse and you take things back. Or you're like, I don't know, should I or shouldn't I? Should I get this? And then you just don't do nothing. You're just in limbo. Maybe you blame others or avoid accountability for your finances. Maybe you hide about your stress about money. And so all of those different uh, examples are examples of broken and toxic money mindsets that stem from survival mode or greed, if you're just straight up greedy. But there's a way to overcome that. There's a way to have a healthy money mindset where it shows up as seeing money as a support, that you have a budget, that you trust in the abundance. It's not like, oh, it's my last dollar. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna know how to make more. Maybe not maybe having a healthy money mindset shows up as tracking your finances and learning from your mistakes. So, accepting accountability. It shows up as talking openly, communicating about finances and money without fear. And so, 5 practical tips to heal from a broken or toxic money mindset is to: one, name that belief. Write down the phrases you heard growing up that are rooted in fear or trust. Are they rooted in fear or trust? So start to call them out. I'm going to take out the sweet potatoes because I think they're done already. And actually, the asparagus looks ready too. I don't want them overcooked. So about 7 more minutes for our chicken. Should I flip it? Looking good in the neighborhood, girlfriend. Asparagus, sweet potato wedges. Last time I way overcooked them. They became look like string beans. They look like dried out string beans. And then, so let's doctor this up. Our sides, I had some coleslaw, red coleslaw with some kale mix. I'm gonna mix it with some kale, doctor it up. Practical tip number 2 is create a safe weekly budget. Replace budget with spending plan. So because it's not about restriction, it's about empowerment. And if budgets makes you feel like they're being restricted. I know my husband for a long time, I would just use the word schedule. Let's put you in a schedule, and I think it. Now I realize that he probably felt like it was restricting him. And actually, no, I was just wanted to be effective and use my time wisely. Not that I was trying to control him, but it's the same with your budgeting. Budgeting, using the word budget. If you have fear in that word of budget, then let's replace it with spending plan. What's your spending plan for the week? Tip number 3, shift from a scarcity mindset to strategy. How are we going to strategically get this done? And that's the same thing with creating a schedule. It's not about controlling, it's about strategically getting through what you need, your goals, how to get from point A to point B a lot faster. This is the only preservative toxic chemical that I'm using in tonight's meal. And then I'm gonna do a squeeze of lemon. I did have some Greek yogurt, but you know, mayo tastes good. So that will be our sides. We have 3 more minutes. And then tip number 4, speak wealth over your life. Say things like money flows to me for the good. Money come to me in abundance 3 times 3. That's what I started with when I started shifting my money mindset. Money come to me in an abundance 3 times 3. Speak wealth over your life. I always have more than enough. I handle my finances wisely. And then tip number 5, invest in nourishment, not numbness. So get rid of the alcohol, the drugs, and start purchasing stuff that's in alignment with healing, not hiding. So get organic foods, get coaching, go on retreats. These are investments in your wellness, and your wellness is health is wealth. Instead of buying impulsive buys and fast foods, they're usually masking emotional needs. That's why it's really important to get your journal and reflect. What is those the emotional blocks that are preventing me from being able to live in abundance? So we have 1 minute. Okay, the smell is burning. The juice in the pan is drying out. Look at this meal. Organic, wholesome, nutrient-packed dinner. It's not about being perfect. It's about bringing balance. So don't worry about that mayo you added in, that I added in. So I'm just gonna serve me very little. I'm not very, oh, because I had a late lunch. But I gotta show you what I'm working with, girlfriend. Join me on this 90-day detox, avoiding sugar, avoiding fast foods, restaurants, getting back into the kitchen and cooking with purpose. This is a delicious home cooked chicken thigh baked chicken thigh with cauliflower. Why is my mouth is so? We have baked chicken thighs, um, red coleslaw with kale, asparagus, and sweet potato wedges. Woo, girlfriend. And the secret sauce is in the seasoning. The seasoning is what makes food taste delicious. So work on that money mindset and start buying organic seasonings. Go to your local grocery store and get your seasonings, because the secret sauce in delicious foods is in the herbs and the spices. And look at that. Baked chicken thigh with organic red coleslaw, cabbage with kale, and asparagus, not overcooked, with good chicken. This is definitely a keeper. I will eat a little more. I will eat more just a little later when my husband gets here. I just wanted to share what my meal is going to look like today. Very, very delicious. And my husband will be happy. Join me on this 90-day detox. If you haven't already, it is free to join. And join me tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Time for a topic on eating like the woman you are becoming to be. Thank you for joining me and have a beautiful day. Whew, it's been a struggle today, guys. Bye. Are you ready to take the first steps to shedding weight, boosting your energy, and transforming your habits? It all starts here. Visit vitalityvalueswellness.com and look for the free habit tracker section. Enter your first name, your last name, along with your email address, and your tracker will be delivered straight to your inbox. You've got this. I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Download now and let's start your journey today. vitalityvalueswellness.com.